Yes, guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a brand new video. You need to grab a calculator right now because what we're doing in this video is predicting Arsenal's last 10 games in the Premier League. So what you're going to do right there, get a pen, get a paper, get a calculator. We are going to be running through the last 10 games of the campaign, which are 3 points. Where do we get 1 point and where do we not get a single point until the end of the campaign? It's 10 games, it's very difficult games, and what we will do after this video, we will predict Manchester City's games and we will predict Liverpool's games as well in relation to Arsenal. And I still think Arsenal have the hardest fixtures when it comes to Liverpool, Arsenal and Manchester City in the last 10 games run. I kind of feel like we have so many difficult games away from home. I'm looking at my list right here. I'm looking at Manchester City away, I'm looking at Brighton away, I'm looking at Tottenham away, and I'm also looking at Manchester United away. And all those games, those are very big games, and those are very, very difficult grounds to go to under pressure, and you pick up points. I think the Villa Park, we know, really is a difficult ground to go to. Of course, they will be coming home, but at Tottenham, at Manchester United, but let's dive into it. Hit the like button, subscribe to the podcast as well, and the channel. Where do you think Aston will finish this season? That's number one. And secondly, out of our next 10 games, how many games do you think Arsenal will win, and will we be champions? Let me know about your thoughts and opinions right there in the comment box below. Right, so the first game there is Chelsea, and I'm going to get my calculator right here, and I'm going to write 3 points. It's at the Emirates Stadium, and Chelsea really lost a double to Arsenal last season. 1-0 at the Stamford Bridge, and we absolutely obliterated them when they came at the Emirates Stadium. It was it was really a humiliation. Now, I don't think we will humiliate them. The first game at the Stamford Bridge this season gave us a very, very interesting lesson that Chelsea do have the ability to disappoint anyone. They've gone to the Etihad Stadium and picked up a point, Raheem Sterling, and they have missed a million chances in that game. Probably they could have even walked away with something more, because Rodri and his magic, for me, Manchester City had 1 or 2 good moments in that game, and Chelsea by far had the better chances, the better moments, and the worst players on the pitch, so they didn't take their chances there. So for Chelsea, I think Arsenal will win this game. It will be a midweek fixture because it has been postponed due to the FA Cup quarterfinals last weekend. I'm going to say 3 points, right? I'm going to say 3 points here on my calculator. I think Arsenal win this one. It's not going to be comfortable, so I'm going to think in the line of 2-1, maybe 1-0, but I think Arsenal win this game, and Chelsea will feel really hard because they will have given us a chance to win the title. So that is game number 1 for Arsenal out of 10. I still think we win that game. I still think Arsenal will be okay when it comes to playing Chelsea. The next game on our list is Manchester City, and you had me right, Manchester City, and this is not at the Emirates Stadium. So right there you have Manchester City on your screen. They are third on the Premier League table, but the difference here is that they're only 1 point behind Arsenal, and you look at the winning percentages right on your screen there. Arsenal with a 23% winning chance, a 25% draw, and 52% Manchester City to win. Now, this is a fixture that Arsenal have not won, especially when it comes to away. It's like we've not won it in a very long time. We've not beaten Pep Guardiola ever since Mikel Arteta was manager, and ever since Guardiola was manager at Manchester City. Now, I don't think Arsenal lose this game. I really, really don't think Arsenal lose this game, but I don't think we win it either, right? And this is where Manchester City fans will be hoping that whatever kind of magic happened at the Anfield for Liverpool happens for them at the Etihad. Because if they lose this game, they will go 4 points behind Arsenal, and they will go 4 points behind Liverpool. And that will mean that the title race is kind of, creating an escarpment. We will have created an escarpment, in the title race, where Manchester City are on the other side and we are on this side, and Manchester City do not want that. Now, I think because it's a nervy game, and because it's a very important game, Arsenal just need a point in this game. Because if we get a point and Liverpool beat Brighton, during the same weekend, Arsenal will just be, I think, we will be 2 points behind Liverpool on top of the table. So we don't need to win. We don't need that pressure. And I think Mikel Arteta will set up his team in a way that we will respect Manchester City. We will be conservative enough. And Guardiola will know that he can't afford to lose this game. This is a very key fixture. So he either wins it narrowly, or he humbly walks away with the point. A point doesn't really work in his favor because that means that Liverpool will be 3 points ahead of him. But he knows that Liverpool can lose again or can drop points at some point in time as the pressure builds on, right? So I think this is a draw. So I'm going to go +1 on this one. I don't think Arsenal lose this game, although I don't think we win it, right? I don't think we will lose to Manchester City this season. +1. And that takes us to 4 points in our last 10 games so far. So far, not bad, right? So the next game after Manchester City, obviously, is an easy one, and Arsenal should be able to capitalize on this one. That will be Luton Town at the Emirates Stadium. Now, Luton Town did give us a problem when we went away from home. When we went to their fixture, to their ground, they did give us a bit of a problem, and they're a good side. I don't really think that they are to be disrespected. But when it comes to delivering, and when it comes to what you want to achieve, this is a fixture Arsenal should be winning by a margin of 3 goals and above. And this is a fixture that is an easy 3 points for me. So +3 against Luton Town. If Arsenal don't win this, then we are not serious title contenders, right? You look at the percentage of them winning, 6%. You look at the percentage of a draw, 11%. That means that there is around 73% a chance for Arsenal to win this game. And we cannot fumble that. Like honestly, you want to win the title, these are the games that you've got to be winning. You want to win the title, these are the fixtures you've got to be winning. Now, after playing Luton Town on the 3rd, Arsenal then will play Brighton. And Brighton is away from home. So our next fixture there is Brighton at the Amex. Last season, when Brighton came to the Emirates Stadium, during the back end of the campaign, they beat Aston 3-0, and that was title race over. However, if you remember, Arsenal beat Brighton last season 5-3 or 2. Karami Thomas scoring a brace at the Amex. And that is a very, very important key there. But as well, I think Brighton are really, really struggling at the moment, and Arsenal are really in good momentum. I think we will want to go and prove a point to all these teams that try to cause havoc for us last campaign, that this season we are better, we are different, and we mean business. So I think we will beat Brighton by 3-1, and that will be another 3 points, and that takes us to 10 points in our in our 4 games as we do the running in 10 games. And I think that's not bad. That is 10 points out of 12, right? So we will be banking on Liverpool collecting less points than that, and maybe Manchester City getting less points than that. But like I said, we'll do a video predicting who has the harder games and who will finish with the highest number of points. So after us playing Brighton at the Amex Stadium, of course, you do have the Champions League in there, but we are just focusing on the Premier League, right? After playing Brighton at the Amex, we take on Aston Villa at the Emirates Stadium. 1-0 was the final score when we visit them at the Villa Park. And for me, that is a fixture that Mikel Arteta and Arsenal massively fumbled for no good reason. I could be wrong, but I think it's a fixture we could have won. It's a game that Arsenal would and could have won. And maybe we could have picked up a point. Because apart from that goal, and maybe the first 10-20 minutes of that game, Aston Villa were really non-existent for the last 70 minutes of the game. Arsenal created chances. Martin Odegaard in that game, the key highlight was he missed chances massively. Really, really massively. So Aston Villa at home, I think Unai Emery will want to prove a point, but I don't think he will prove a point against Arsenal. So I'm going to add another 3 points, right? So that is 13 points out of 15. I still think we will beat Aston Villa. I still think we have the minerals to get past Villa at the Emirates Stadium. If this was at the Villa Park, and I think, is it Liverpool? Liverpool play Villa away from home on match day 37. That could be a big title decider. That could be a big title. That could put a big title dent in Liverpool's efforts to win the title. Because on match day 37, they'll play Aston Villa away from home. And on match day 35 actually, they'll play West Ham away from home. So you can see what I'm talking about. So for Arsenal, we play them at the Emirates Stadium. This should be not an easy win as well, but Arsenal should win this by 1-0 or 2-0, and we should be all right by that point in the season as well. Then we'll play Bayern away from home, and then we will play Wolverhampton Wanderers away from home. This is where I think Arsenal drop points where no one expects us. And I think this Wolverhampton Wanderers side have always been a thorn in the boot for Arsenal. But this season, have you seen them? Have you seen them this season, right? Look at this. Listen to this. This is Wolverhampton Wanderers this season, right? They are sitting 9th on the Premier League table. They have scored 40. They've scored 42 goals this campaign. Considered 44, but they have collected 41 points. Wolves are just 3 points from the top 7, which is quite interesting, and they're just 6 points from the top 6, where Manchester United are. They're a good side, and I really do respect them, and I think Arsenal will struggle against Wolverhampton Wanderers. And I still think that there will be that one game where every single team struggles in the last 10 against a side that is not really big. And I think for us, it will be at Wolverhampton Wanderers. And I'm going to say there that Arsenal pick up 1 point from the Molineux. Okay, difficult place to go to. I think Arsenal should do enough to win this game, but I think that it will be that will be where we drop our points. Molineux, mark my words, clip this out, and remember this video. Molineux. After us visiting the Molineux and playing the hosts, Wolverhampton Wanderers, I think we will draw there. Our next game will be against Tottenham Hotspur. And I think this is going to be a very interesting fixture, but also very easy for Arsenal. So I think this is 3 points for Arsenal, because we went there last season and we won that game. Yeah, we won that game. 2-0. I think it was Odegaard and was it Emil Smith-Rowe who scored as well, or Saka who scored as well, right? So I think Tottenham will lose to Arsenal at the White and Lane, and it's a very tough call. After me saying that Arsenal will drop points to Wolverhampton Wanderers at the Molineux, but I think this is going to be intentional, and this is going to be it's going to have intention written all over it. It's going to have intention written all over it. So +3, okay, +3 against Tottenham. So after Tottenham Hotspur, Arsenal will then ride into another difficult fixture, and this will be season defining. It will be Bournemouth at the Emirates Stadium. Bournemouth have had a good season. They play very interesting football under Andoni Iraola, and I think he's trying to assemble a side that is capable of upsetting anyone and capable of getting a good result against anyone. I watched them against Manchester City in that game that Manchester City won 1-0. And I think the point, the key interesting point in that game was not about how good City were, but it was about how good Bournemouth were. And it was also about the competence they have and the confidence they have. The likes of Dominic Solanke, the likes of Semenyo. That side is really interesting. But I think Arsenal will win that game. We are going to go +3. Another 3 points for Arsenal there, right? Another 3 points for Arsenal. We remember we had 10 games, so it has to be a total of 30 points. So far, we have 20 points, and we are left with around 2 games. And I think we are still on track. Okay, so after that, Arsenal will then take on Manchester United. God. Why? After that, after Bournemouth, we take on Manchester United in the second last fixture of the Premier League. And at this point in time, I think Arsenal will be still in the title race. Now, this fixture is going to be decided by whether Arsenal will still be in the title race or not. If Arsenal are still in the title race, Man United could have an upper advantage in this game. But if Arsenal are out of the title race, which is mathematically for me not possible unless we really do badly and poorly, if Arsenal are tight of the title race, we will obliterate them. On paper, they are not a match for Arsenal. And I think tactically, Ten Hag has been very good, but Mikel Arteta has been superior and much better this season, especially in big games. So this is what I'm going to say. Arsenal win this one 1-0. We win this one by 1-0. Arsenal win this fixture by 1-0. It's difficult, I know, right? It's difficult, I know, but I think we win this one by 1-0, and that will take us to the final day of the Premier League as one of the teams that could win it if there is an upset at the Anfield or if there is an upset at the Etihad. Because Arsenal, Man City and Liverpool will all play their last games at home. I don't know how this was done. Arsenal will play Everton at the Emirates. Liverpool will play Wolves at the Anfield. And Manchester City will play West Ham at the Etihad Stadium as well. Right? So I think Arsenal beat Manchester United 1-0. And we go and we win it in front of the fans. That's what I think. So the last game is Everton. It's going to be, difficult, but we always play Everton. Like, we always always play Everton at the end of the campaign. And I think it won't be that usual end of the campaign Arsenal 5-0, 4-1, 3-0, 6-0. It will be like a 2-1 end of the campaign, right? 2-1 end of the campaign. And I think Arsenal will win. So the total is 26 points. I don't know if you can see that, right? I don't know if you can see that. Okay. So the total is 26 points out of the 30 points we have to collect. 26 out of the 30 we have to collect. Surprisingly, and listen, I don't want to water down the next video because we're going to do a points tally for Liverpool and a points tally for Man City, and then compare it with the points tally that I've done for Arsenal. I don't think that Liverpool and Man City will make it to 26 points. I think Liverpool will end up with something like 20, maybe 24, and I think Man City something like 26 as well, or 25 or 26 there. Right? 25 or 26 there, or even 27. But of course, Arsenal still have a point in hand on City. And this could be a title that Arsenal win on goal difference. But let me know what you think about my madness and my craziness. And of course, if you like this kind of video, please do subscribe. I've done a video right on Cossy Arsenal podcast talking about the Saka injury and why that could be our worst news of the campaign. If you love those kind of videos, make sure that you subscribe to Cossy Arsenal podcast. The video is right there live on Cossy Arsenal podcast, and of course I have put a thumbnail that really looks very good, and that is how it looks. I'll see you right in the next one.